All right, let's start. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on what time you're catching this show. This is Money Mondays with me, Ezekiel Olande, here on Icon Radio. And as always, when it's Mondays, we're talking about money, we're talking about business, we're talking about entrepreneurship. And today, we have a good one. We are here talking about purpose business, how to align your calling with commerce. And so I just invite you to join. If you have any questions, you know how to reach us. We are on Icon Radio on all platforms. Karibuni sana. My guest today is Mary Karuga. Mary is a life and career coach. She's a trainer and founder of TevRey Consulting. Mary, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Ezekiel.
Karibu sana. Thank you for taking time to just join us on this day. And I just want you to tell us a bit about yourself, your background, your business, and how you got into this space of life and career coaching.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ezekiel.
Karibu.
And thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Yeah, so Mary,
Mhm.
I am a life coach,
Yes.
a career coach,
Yes.
and I am also a professional accountant.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm not coaching, I am balancing books. And I love both.
Yes.
Yeah, but my passion is in coaching,
Mm.
and I help especially midlife women
Yeah.
to translate their expertise,
Mm.
their skills,
Yeah.
and their passions
Yeah.
into a profitable business.
Mm.
That is where I spend most of my day,
Okay.
trying to convert purposes
Yeah.
into businesses.
Good stuff. We hear a lot about coaching.
Yeah.
And when you go on LinkedIn today, you'll see so many people getting coaching or saying they're coaches. Let me not cut any aspersions. So I just wanted to understand, when you talk about life coaching, how different is it from, say, career coaching?
Yeah. So just slight difference, especially when we talk about coaching, we are
Yeah.
mostly talking about, do you have a strategy that can get somebody from point A
Yeah.
to point B,
Yes.
where they want to be?
Yes.
And so it can be in their career, it can be in their life, and life is different areas.
Yeah.
Life coaching is one of the widest, because it can be, maybe you are helping health, you're helping businesses,
Yeah.
maybe you're helping different aspects of career,
Yeah.
of life.
Yes.
Yeah, so the only difference is that you're focusing on a certain area of life. Like personally, I focus on personal development.
Yes.
Yeah, so it can be anything. Those who are doing fitness coaching, those who are doing leadership, everybody can call themselves a life coach.
Aha.
Yeah,
Aha.
good.
Okay. That's good to. It's good to have that clarity. And for those of you who are watching, just let me be candid here. Mary is my coach, so if you see us having inside jokes, just understand. Tumetoka mbali na and I'm just happy that she was able to join us in this conversation. Mary, before we get into the meat of the topic of the discussion, which is just aligning your calling to your business and making money from your calling, or making your calling translating it into a business. Let's go back to a bit about Mary. What do you like to do when you're not handling accounting and life coaching? What are the things that bring you joy?
Yeah. Thank you, Ezekiel. So personally, I love watching movies.
Okay.
If if there was no work in the world, it was just enjoying ourselves, then I
You'd
would
be
watch all
watching.
series in the world.
Yes.
Yeah, that is what I enjoy doing
Okay.
in my free time. But also reading
Okay.
and empowering myself, because I
Mm.
believe I have to fill my cup
Yes,
throughout, so that I
yes.
have somewhere to pour from.
Pour it out.
So most likely is either I'm watching a movie, or you might find me on YouTube listening to my mentors. I have several who I follow.
Yes. Yeah.
Or else I'm reading a book, a
Okay.
motivational book.
Mm.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good
Good.
stuff. It's good to know, the person behind the person.
Yes.
Sometimes we're just all about the business and we forget that there are many hats that people wear and the things that you like to do.
Yeah.
So, getting to our conversation today, and talk about understanding purpose business. So what would you define, or what would you call a purpose business, and how different is it just from running a normal business? Nimeenda shule, nimeanza kufanya biashara, and I'm just doing it. What's the difference between normal business, if I can call it normal business, and purpose business?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, purpose business, the difference between purpose business and normal business is the calling behind it. You don't just come to get money.
Yes.
Actually, what is under the everything you are doing, your motive is to transform lives, is to change things. It's actually to get people or to get the world out of the status quo.
Yes.
You're trying to bring something that will solve a problem, a certain problem, not for the purposes only of making money. Actually, we say money is fruits of you serving.
Right.
So it's all about serving. So you have to identify something you're passionate about, something that you are already good at. That is another thing.
Yeah.
In real businesses, we will have to learn so many things for us to make them work. But in purpose business, we just come and
it's
do
something that is innate in you.
It is innate. You are born with it.
Yeah.
So you try just to bring out to the world the gift that you already are carrying. Yeah, and then you check, is it needed in the world? Because you can have a gift yet, but probably no one is willing even to pay for it. So if you find you have something you love, something you enjoy doing, and something you are good at, and there is someone somewhere who can pay for it, then you have your purpose business. Yeah, and it is very different from a normal business. So it's not the same as going to Kikomba, getting a bale of clothes and coming and pouring without even caring who's going to buy. Here you really care about the final client. Actually, you live for them. You dedicate your whole life to helping them. And that's the difference.
I like that. Simply because when you look at what purpose is, and again, having gone through this journey with you, there's many things that we do, but there's I think few things that you find you're very good at, and like you said, you find that there's probably a gap somewhere, and people are willing to put money to help you or to receive those the services or whatever it is that you're doing. But my question then comes, what if I don't know what my purpose is? Because we talk about purpose everywhere, within the Christian circles, within the secular world. But what if I don't know what my purpose is? How do I then get to establish this so that I can now pursue a purpose-driven business, if you can call it that?
Yeah. You see, actually, nobody thinks they know their purpose.
Yes.
Actually, even I maybe at some point I still wonder, is it? is this
it? Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing with purpose is that it is something that has to come from inside you. And there is no book out there that will ever tell you this is your purpose. And even the worst is that even God will never appear to you.
Yes.
Maybe in a dream or, sometimes you're waiting
this is your purpose.
Yes, for an angel wearing a white robe to tell us, Mary, this is what you're supposed to do in the world. No. It has to be something that you feel you can do.
Yeah.
And this thing can help somebody else. Yeah. If you look at the world and something troubles you, never assume it troubles everybody.
True.
For example, somebody could be there and you are watching, for example, street children. And when you are passing there, you can't even pass without giving something because it troubles you.
Yeah.
Sometimes we assume it troubles everyone
the same way.
No.
Yeah,
it is your calling. It is you that thing is calling.
Yeah.
It is the same thing. For me, for example, it was about watching women just like me, going to chamas and listening to ladies and feeling like we are all at the same boat, feeling stuck, especially in our careers.
Yes.
We are feeling stuck. We don't know our next move. And everybody is wondering. So this was it. I have achieved my my dreams in terms of getting a house, buying a car, and also going through the career radar and all this, but I still don't feel.
You're feeling unfulfilled.
Yes. And so then it was me to see the gap there. That, the people need to do something more and to know something more. And then I tossed myself into, let me first of all find it for myself.
For yourself, yes.
And then when you find it for yourself, then you can come out here and help other people. And it is you to decide, can I call this purpose or not? So no one is going to come and stamp it for you. It is for you to decide, this is the thing that I like doing. This thing is helping other people. And I feel alive here. I'm already pre-equipped. You come pre-equipped for your gift. You can do it without any more training, any training. And that is why you know this is it. Yeah, it's as simple as that.
I like that. And so for you who are watching, if you're wondering, how do you discover your purpose? Mary has given some tips. The things that are innately within you, the things that you're passionate about, the things that you probably care about more than other people. And when you start seeing, I guess, trends, you know, like the way you're saying you're going to chamas, you keep hearing the same stories, and you're like, okay, there's something here. And I am sure all these other chama members with you were not, as you're saying, were not probably getting it the way Mary was getting it. So now you decide, okay, fine, let me go and pursue this a bit, and then something clicks. And then now you're able to come and help people. I hope you're taking notes. Again, Money Mondays with me, Ezekiel Olande, and Mary Karuga, who's a life coach, my coach as well, trainer and founder of TevRey Consulting. And today we're talking about purpose, business, aligning your calling to commerce. So Mary, my next question to you, in your experience, why do you think many professionals struggle to align their careers or businesses with a deeper sense of their calling?
That's the greatest question. Because yes, we have an idea that we have a calling, that we have a purpose, but unfortunately, when we were young, actually, we knew what it is that we wanted to do. Unfortunately, if you were to tell many people, sometimes there were some societal expectations that you have to meet certain categories. For example, they could tell you, if you said, I want just to be a farmer, for example, nobody will have cheered you on. Your parents would say, oh, what do you mean? I pay all that school fees, so you become a farmer.
Forgetting that people have to eat.
And forgetting that there has to be a farmer. There has to be a barber. There has to be a salonist, or whatever area.
All these things,
there has to be someone. So the education system and the societal expectations are why we are suffering. So you find yourself, even at your 40s, you still are struggling to find what your purpose is. One of the reasons is because our careers are totally misaligned. Most of us. Actually, statistics say only 3% have found their purpose.
Wow.
A whole 97% are still struggling.
They're just walking
or actually
in the dark, or groping in the dark.
Or they are serving those who have found their purpose.
Their purposes,
That is why you find every company has one director, one owner, and then a lot of employees. 97% serving the 3% who have found their purposes. That is the reality of life. So why are we misaligned? It is because we were taught to be things without anyone ever asking us, what were you made to be? What are you good at? So we struggled to fit into different categories. Like we were told, no, you have to aim to be a pilot, an engineer, a lawyer, what. So when you are just saying a small thing, like myself, I could say I want to be a teacher. I remember my dad really fighting with that.
You know, back in the day, teachers, it was not looked at. They were striking every
everywhere. They're on the road, and of course they are preaching to everybody. They are not well paid.
Yes.
And here is Mary saying she wants to be a teacher. So my dad didn't even want to hear that. No way, not in my house.
Yes.
For a profession, you're a bright girl. He could tell me all those. So that is how professionals find themselves struggling.
Yes, the misalignment.
We are already misaligned. We are doing things that the society forced us to see as the right things.
Yes.
Nobody asked us, what are you good at? And this thing we are good at keeps us on calling us from the inside.
Yes.
But then it looks like it cannot fit now. I am too old.
It's not making sense.
It does not
so
make
we end up suppressing that voice, right?
Sure. And that is why we tend to be, you find this job you are in, you are burnt out.
Yeah.
Nothing makes sense. You don't like it. You don't even like your colleagues. The way you go, Monday comes, Monday morning, and another Monday.
Monday blues.
Yes.
Yet there are people who wake up and they're excited.
Sure.
Because they're going to do something that they love to do.
Oh my God, at 4 a.m. Look at Mary. 4 a.m. She's up. She has a client to serve. Yeah, and that is the life we should all aim for.
Yeah. Thinking about it, even just from our education system, because you remember that song, so many vijana, what was the thing? Mwisho wa kusoma utapata kazi nzuri sana. It doesn't matter. They're not telling you, is this actually what you're good at? No. You soma, tia bidii, utapata kazi nzuri.
Kazi nzuri according to who?
According to who? That's number one. Number two, you score the grades in high school.
Sure.
Go do medicine. Go do engineering. Go do, all these things. And maybe, like you're saying, maybe your calling is to become a teacher.
Sure.
Is to become a farmer. And who says you cannot thrive in these spaces? But the way, I think, because of the meritocracy that we find ourselves in, if you have performed well according to these standards.
The standards,
unasukuma huko.
Yeah, when the doctor, when the engineer, and then kule doctor, mgonjwa akikuja, you are really mishandling them.
Exactly.
That's not where you belong. Precisely. You don't have that wiring inside you.
Yeah.
There's
an organization that I have the privilege of working for, and they take care of underprivileged kids. And every time I interact with them, because they hire parents who then are given children to sort of like to foster. And I keep telling them, if you're not called to do this work, you will burn out. Because imagine umeenda na watoto wako, your whole family, unaongezwa 10 to 18 children, and you're parenting all these children.
All of them.
These are the people I believe, if the calling is misaligned, or if you're not doing your purpose, utajipata, you're mistreating people, or you're just doing a very shoddy job.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Ezekiel, if you were to look at our children, and somehow, I don't know now who will save us from the current education system.
Oy.
And it's the whole world. It's not only Kenya.
The systems of the world, I guess.
The systems,
yes.
Because I look at my kids sometimes, like I have a boy who is a very good artist. He was a good artist from wherever I can remember, from age 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
Most of my drawing is in my house. He has drawn himself. And up to around then there were classes. Up to class 6, the boy was so good at art. But then from class 6, 7, 8, we start telling him now how important the education is.
Yes, because exams are coming.
Exams are coming.
Yes, you have to pass your exams. Yeah.
And this boy starts slowly getting disinterested, slowly. He has books to concentrate on.
Yeah.
So finally you find he cannot even remember that thing. Now you give him all the materials. He has now packed everything that he used to really love. And now he is concentrating on what? Biology, I don't know, agriculture, physics, I don't know what physics.
Or whatever it's called. Yeah.
This boy, we have just crushed his dream. He will become a doctor, probably a pilot or an engineer or whatever, but he'll never be happy.
Yeah.
And that is where we are as a society. I wish there was a way the education system could really cultivate that gift.
The nurturing of the talents and the gifts.
That thing that is inside you. And as I'm saying, the beauty of this thing, you don't need to go to school. Yes. My boy had no one to teach him how to draw, but he could do it naturally. And I've seen so many other children. Look at the ones who do dancing, who do music, who do equipment, different. They are very good at them. But then, and they can make a lot of money there, and not just money, my dear. Happy money.
Yes.
Happy money,
I like
you
that.
know.
I like that. Yeah.
Not the one, yes, we are making, but we are going, even when we are going, even when we are going to the bank to get that check, you are still crying because this is not happy money. Actually, we call it sweat money. But there is another side of life where you can get money that you are really proud to get because you are getting it doing what you love.
What you love to do.
Yeah, somebody said that if you get your passion and your purpose, you will never work a day in your life. That does not mean you won't wake up and try to do
exactly,
something.
But you're not seeing it as work.
It will never even feel like work. It feels like you're doing a normal thing. Yeah.
Wow. Again, if you have questions, please feel free to reach to us. We are on Icon Radio. This is Money Mondays with me, Ezekiel Olande, and we're just discussing your purpose, your business, and how to link those two together. So I know we've talked about misalignment, but maybe just as we cap up this segment, what are the signs that someone should look at when they, or to be able to know that they're misaligned with their work and their business? You've talked about sweat money or sad money being one of them. I think you've talked about also where you wake up and you just feel like kind of thing. But what are the signs that we can look at?
Like now, that one, especially of Monday morning. How do you relate? What's your relationship with Monday morning?
Yes.
Do you love it?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Do you love going to that job? Do you love even the people? You know, sometimes we don't care about the people. We love the people, but we don't want to hear them talking to us about that unfinished report. That what? Because we don't like the job. We don't feel fulfilled. There is this detachment. And actually, since COVID, detachment has really increased. I was reading somewhere where up to 63% of employees are currently detached from where they work.
Hence quiet quitting.
Quitting. They are there actually. They are there. Their physical body is there, but
they
mind
not there at all.
Is somewhere else. So you can know that I'm misaligned because purpose never feels like that.
Exactly.
Overwhelming. You feel burnt out, you feel tired, exhausted. There is a time I hosted a webinar about this. I call it career reinvention. And one lady talked. And I was talking about now these signs. And I love what she said. Actually, it can put everything into perspective. She told me, Mary, you know, you have said something very good about how this can feel. Because imagine, I noted, every time I'm going to work, when I reach the gate, something happens. Maybe I have a stomachache, a headache. Something feels off.
That's when you know there's a problem.
Because she could say that immediately she leaves. Again, she feels okay.
Or when it's time to come back.
In the evening. Somehow the stomachache goes and she feels okay. So those are signs that you're not doing what God wanted you to do. You are just there for a paycheck to pay the bills. And it's fine. And we should do that, but we should do that to a certain extent. We cannot do that forever because at 60, that detachment will not go anywhere. When you are retiring, all you'll have is regrets. Now, why didn't I start? Why didn't I look for something that could rejuvenate my life? You feel wasted. You have been like me, an accountant forever, and you knew you didn't belong there. So it was a full life of struggle. Here you are, you can't even show anything for it. So purpose, the beauty of purpose is that even if you won't have material things, you will have people whom you have left your fingerprints on, people who can vouch for you.
A legacy.
This is one here, Ezekiel, calling me back because you got something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that is what we want. A legacy. Yeah, that I did something with my life and it is visible to everybody.
I like that. It's important to think about the legacy that you're going to leave, and also not to have regrets, because I think so many of us are just there. In our minds, we are permanent and pensionable. So you're just going through life, and then, so you retire. And then what?
Yeah.
If you never discovered what the purpose is, then you are in your retirement. What do? You find yourself just unajaribu huku, or you hear watu wanaweka quails. Unaenda kwa quails, unasikia watu wameenda dragon fruit, umeingia huko, before you know it, whatever little that you said,
ilikuwa Isinya nini ile what
was it in Isinya?
These houses, greenhouses.
Greenhouses. Ndio yo umeingia huko. Before you know it, your resources are depleted. You're still not doing what you wanted to do. And I think that even it brings you to an early grave, because the depression, the regrets just keep piling up. Wow. I hope you guys are taking notes the way, Mary's just dropping, and this is for free. She's dropping pearls of wisdom here that would help you to align what your calling is and how that relates to commerce. But Mary, let me ask you one final question. Then I said we're going to move on. Then now we're moving on. When you talk about calling, I think people might think of this as a religious thing. And so what if I do not subscribe to whatever religion that, like you and I are believers? But what if I am not a Christian? I'm not a Muslim, or, then is there still a calling to think about, or sasa mimi naenda na maisha hivyo?
A good question.
I know this is a curveball, by the way.
Yeah, because you see, who calls?
Yeah.
It's a big question.
Yes, that's
Who are
true.
you waiting to call you? I already said, if, for example, when you pass via maybe street children, I give that example.
Exactly.
And there is a pull between you and them. There is something. Like you can do something here, Mary. Don't just pass. When you see an old lady and you feel like maybe they're out there, they have no housing, and you're feeling, what if in this village I elect maybe a home for the elderly? When you see girls who are dropping out of school because of pregnancy, because of what, and it pains you, don't wait for any other calling, my dear. There is no other. That is the calling.
Your conscience should be able to do that for you, right?
The calling comes from inside. It does not come from outside. I've told you, even when we say God called us, how? You never meet with him one-on-one. He calls you. He just gives you a conviction towards a problem. And this problem, you always find it is something you can do today. It does not have to wait for 2 years from now. It is something you're already good at. And maybe sometimes we give the resources excuse. That needs a lot of money. I don't have money. Time, I don't have time. Sometimes it's not all about that. It is about serving one at a time. One at a time. What can I do for this one person today? Then tomorrow I'll find out how to serve two.
The two.
But
at least you've started somewhere.
But you start somewhere.
I like it. In my mother tongue, there's a phrase that it says chaka chaka, which literally just means just start. Answer two. Answer two, and then you move on. Now we segue. You work with a lot of midlife women and professionals across this continent. And why is midlife such a pivotal point for rethinking purpose?
Great. Our midlife is like a halftime in a football game.
Yes.
So you have been playing the first half and you're doing well.
Yeah.
Or you don't know even whether you're doing well or not. So it reaches that after those, how many minutes? I'm not very
45.
45.
45.
45 minutes.
Yes.
It's the same 40 years around there.
40,
45.
Yeah, that's actually midlife.
Yes.
That's an epiphany right there.
Yeah.
45 minutes, football game. Now okay.
Need the same.
I am learning now. Continue.
Yeah, so you get to a point that you will need to rethink. You need to reassess. And actually, you cannot ignore it.
Yeah.
The reason why you see some people demonize, maybe if I use that word, midlife, and we paint it with these very dark and
crisis,
grim crisis things.
Yeah.
It happens as a crisis to those who fail to listen to what their heart, their soul is trying to tell them. Because this is a point where you come and you realize, okay, I've gone through half of my life.
Yeah.
I'm about to get into the second half of my life. And then the soul asks you to sit down and reassess.
Yeah.
Are you developing?
Yes.
Are you growing? What has your life been all up to?
Yeah.
I tell people it is a time where even you feel the need to give back. Because all you've been doing so far is taking. How much money are they paying me?
Yes.
I'm coming.
Yeah. What is in it for me?
What is in it for me? I'm coming.
Right.
But it reaches a point you will have to reassess and ask, what can I give?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's me, there are other people out there who needs what God has put in my heart.
Absolutely.
How can I give to them? So the reason midlife becomes important, it is that call to reassess. And it comes for everyone. You can hide from it, you can run, but it will catch up.
Catch up to you.
It will catch up. And want you, if you ignore it, when it comes early, and especially there are people who are very lucky, it will come as early as 35 years old.
Right.
You're already rethinking life. You're already rethinking, because you know what midlife does to you. At first, before you start putting things into perspective, the first thing that happens is you feel everything is wrong. You look at life, my career seems wrong.
Yes.
My partner seems wrong. All my choices.
You start questioning a lot.
You question everything.
And deconstruct a lot in your mind, things that you've believed or, thought processes that you've had in the past.
Yes. And that is where now finding purpose becomes very important, because it brings back the reality and the importance of everything else. Again, purpose, once you find it, because even if we say there could be people who don't believe in God, the thing is, it's God-given.
Yes.
Or whatever deity
you want to
subscribe to.
Yes.
That is the one that gives you this mandate, because you didn't just come here to eat ugali and fill the space and go. The one who brought you here had a mission for you.
Yes.
And so, purpose is the only way to make sense of everything else, because it will bring you to start, when you start assessing and you have found something that is so meaningful. Now you see how your spouse helps.
Yes.
Now you see how even this job that has been boring you, it was just a stepping stone. You start appreciating. You see even anything else in life that is seeming like it is misaligned, you start seeing, no, there was a purpose for everything.
How there's a method to this madness.
Yes.
There
is a method to the madness. We are going somewhere. I am going somewhere. And so you start seeing more sense in life than before. Than before. And that is why at this age, the most important call for all of us, find it.
Yes.
Find that purpose. What is it that God wants you to do?
Right.
What is it that your second part of life, what could make it meaningful? What kind of service? And actually, it's not about you.
Yes.
It's about God's creation. Where can you chip in.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you're already good at it. Even the career you have been building, it was for this purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The life you have been living so far, the experiences you have gone through, the painful one, the good ones, they were for this purpose.
They're all building
towards this purpose.
Yes.
Yeah, and when you start serving it, you really love God because you see, oh God, everything had a meaning.
Yes.
Even that time I really suffered a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Now I see the point.
You know, there's a book that I've been reading. I keep reading it, then it asks me hard questions, then I stop for a minute. It's called Halftime. It's by an author called Bob Bufford. And it says exactly what you're saying. You know, all this leads to you now rethinking, questioning, and then also now planning the latter parts of your life. And sometimes people think that our best years are behind us. But he actually says that when you are able to now figure out your purpose and your calling, then the rest of the years are going to become better. I know you feel like, oh, the energy is gone. The years have gone. I'm growing old. No. But you have something that you couldn't have gotten there, which is wisdom.
I call it reinvention. You're going to go through a reinvention. You're going to feel fresh. You're going to feel renewed.
Yes.
Yeah, once you find it.
So it's not too late, good people.
Yeah.
There's time. And like Mary said, kuna watu wanaanza 35, wengine 45. I'm sure even 50 and 55.
Yes.
Because who knows how long you're living? No one is dictating that your life is going to be 70 years or 80 years. Kuna watu siku hizi wana clock 100 na wanaendelea. Sasa, if you feel like you're already done and you're at 40 and you have 55 years to go, good people, there's still time to do a lot. Yeah, to do a lot.
I say if you're 40,
yes,
you're just 20 years old. Because the first 20, you were just a baby.
Absolutely.
You were mother's child.
Yes.
So you have only lived this life 20. So if you will have a bonus of another 40,
yes,
what you have now, you have just had 20 years.
Yeah, 20
now
years.
Now multiply it by 3.
Yes.
What you can do with the rest of your life. A lot.
That's a very good way to look at it. So for those of you who feel old, you're just 20 years old.
Yeah, 20.
Relax.
Your life starts at 40. So you are just, some of us are just 2 years old.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Very nice. Moving back to this, the question about the midlife. What are common fears, at least that you have seen, and limiting beliefs? And we did this during our coach. Mary would ask you some very hard questions that you can't just answer. And of course, you will know if I'm lying, because there's what you tell someone, ukitaka kumfurahisha, then there's now the ile swali andani. So just back to this, what common fears or limiting beliefs do you see that hold people back from stepping into purpose-driven businesses? Yeah.
The biggest one is fear of loss.
Yes.
Yeah, and loss of what? Loss of identity. Which identity?
Yes.
Title-based identity.
Who am I? What do
I'm
people
an
know me?
Accountant. I'm a HR professional. I'm a lawyer.
Yes.
You know, I'm a professor. I'm what?
Yeah.
So if you tell me to go start a purpose business, I have to start from scratch.
Yes.
It's like you're telling me, now leave your prestigious identity.
Right.
Go start from square one somewhere else. Because that is your passion, purpose. That gospel. Not many years want to hear that. Yes. Because we would like something that is already built up.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so we feel like if I leave my profession, I'll be losing out.
Right.
Something big.
Let me move this.
And so we tend to want to stick. I'd better stick to what I know than what I don't know. Which is also now the fear of unknown.
Yes.
And there is also fear of failure. What if I step into my purpose? I know it. By the way, this thing about passion, purpose, and whatever.
Yes.
People from age 40 and above, they have a clue what it is.
Absolutely.
They have. It calls, even if you try to ignore it.
It's knowing at you. That hunger pang. Yes.
From inside, it knocks that do me. It's me. It's that side hustle.
Right.
It is this. So they are feeling it. But now, what if I start and fail?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if I try to set up this business and nobody buys from me, that fear of failure, fear of embarrassment,
my reputation. What will people say?
What will people say? Like they will think I'm mad. I leave this good profession so that I go start this small thing that has no shape, has no anything to it. So that is one of those are some of the key fears. And then limiting beliefs is, who am I? Who am I to even think?
Yes, that I can step into this role.
I can call people to come and listen to me about this. And these fears, what I would like to say, they are common.
Yes.
They happen to me too. Yeah, there's a time I tried to balance. I am feeling the deep calling. I am feeling that, yes, I ought to be out there serving, but then I am holding on fast to my profession. I like, this has been what has brought me here.
Yes.
But you have to know, let go.
Right.
Let go and let God, the way we say, because He has a better plan for you.
Yeah.
Right now it is shapeless. You don't even know where it will take you.
Yeah.
But I can assure you, for me, the past 5 years, it has been coming up well. God has been faithful.
Yeah.
And if it happened for me, it can happen for anyone.
Yeah.
And of course, we don't tell people, just drop everything and become this. We say you pivot to it slowly.
Yes.
But at least work on it. As I said,
do something.
Start one person at a time, two people at a time, and grow. And then there are methods, there is support. That is why I especially exist.
Exactly.
So that I can support you through step 1, step 2, step 3, so that it does not overwhelm you. So the fears are there. But the fears can be overcome, especially with help and guidance. And even I had a coach. Somebody helped me. One of the biggest fear I had, let me tell you, is this. Being on camera. Being on camera was my biggest fear. How? I could look at myself and by all standards, oh my God, you're a bit big, Mary, Something never felt right. And so I remember when I was being coached, and I had a coach who was coaching me how to coach, and he was telling me, there is no way you can be a coach if you are not out there.
Yes, you have to put yourself out there.
Put yourself out there. And I remember I had to kind of, is it called diving, scuba diving, or whatever? You disappear
launch into the deep or something like that.
Yes, you were hiding from it. You don't want, I told him, oh my God, no. And I stopped even going to classes for a while because he is insisting I do videos and I don't want. It's too, it looks as too huge. I could do them and delete them. I do it from morning to around 1. I was trying to do one. Then when I listen to it,
you're too much in your head during this time.
Too much in my head, thinking of perfection. So those are some of the fears. You want perfection. Out here, nobody needs perfection. We need authenticity.
You, like I said, chaka, you
come the way you are.
And as I'm saying this, I'm preaching to the choir because Mary has really pushed me to do things that I had not really thought that I wanted to do, because I remember when we started this journey with you, and me, I knew this is the path that I'm supposed to follow. And here comes Mary, and just to let you know, she was coaching both my wife and I. Because people will ask you, but the program is called Midlife. It's for professionals as well, not just for women. And you'll explain that later. And I remember, when you're now asking me, okay, so what is this business? And me, I'm telling you something in the line of my career. Because I'm comfortable in doing it, something like this, for instance. And Mary is like, no. And my wife is like, no. And I'm like, oh. Because those limiting beliefs. Because I know what my calling is. And it has to do with, men and helping them establish their purposes as well. But I was like, Sasa, how am I going to start talking to them? Enter Mary. And like you're saying, there are tools and the support that you can be given. And those really help people to come out. And again, still back in my head, trying to figure out how am I going to start.
Yeah.
And Mary's like, just start.
Yes.
And you learn, you make mistakes, you move on. But the important thing is that, and I'm really grateful that, you pushed me to do that. Yeah.
I was so happy too for you, when you're just, we say when you're still trembling, when you're still, the tongue doesn't have to seem right. You're exactly. Stammering on your own words.
Yeah.
Just start.
Yes.
You remember when you came and told me that, Mary, I'm so happy, I talk somewhere and the guys,
exactly.
they're already calling me for even one-on-ones. Yeah, if you never start, they will never come.
They'll never come. So start. Start, what is in you, and more so if you're in your midlife and moving forward, there are things within you, there are passions within you. And I like the way Mary has broken it. The first 20 years of your life, really, you're in school, you're learning. So then the next 20 years is now when you start your career. And so maybe if you're in your midlife, then you have just done the 20 years or thereabout in your career. You still have so much. There's still 2 20s, if I can call it that, if you're thinking about 80. 40 to 60, 60 to 80, you still have a lot of time to do the things that you would, that are within you that you feel like you need to push. But the important thing, start. The fears are real.
Yeah.
But you can get out of them. There's something that you shared when we were coaching, fear as an acronym.
Yeah. False evidence appearing real.
Yes. And
that I learned from a guy called Les Brown. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had that before many times. But when now you actually think about it, that is just it. It is false evidence that is appearing real, and then it can really pull you down, and then you start, that teacher said this, or my father said this, or my boss said this, and those things can weigh you down. But the more you challenge yourself to face those fears, you're able to then move.
Maybe just to add there.
Yes, please.
False evidence appearing real. The reason we call it false evidence, that thing you are fearing so much, have you ever tried?
Exactly.
Yes. You're thinking, I'll try, it will fail.
Yes.
Try and let us see.
Exactly.
Let us talk after that.
and even if you fail, you try again.
You learn.
Yes,
you learn from it.
You learn how not to do it.
How not to do it, yes, and do it differently. If you need help, that is the time to know, here, I think I need some help. And you get help.
Yeah. Good stuff. We need to, when I'm talking to Mary, we can talk until tomorrow. But allow me to ask, because you also discovered your purpose at some point. How did you personally come into the clarity around your purpose? And how then did you start? How did TevRey Consulting emerge after that?
Yeah. So the year 2017, one thing that was happening, everything was going well. That is a bit of paradox.
It's a paradox, because normally for most of us vitu zimegonga mwamba. That's when
unatafuta purpose. For me, everything was going well. Like I had really worked hard to finish my education. Now I have even an MBA. Career, I am going through up the career ladder properly. I've gotten a management position.
Right.
Personally, me and my hubby doing well. We have bought whatever we always wanted to buy, a good car, built our home, or whatever, all that. But unfortunately, something somewhere was missing.
Right.
And at some point, I really felt guilty of you
questioning, and yet everything is okay.
I wanted to say something very bad. You ungrateful. How can you be this blessed?
Yes.
Still, what are you looking for?
Yes. Yeah.
I remember I couldn't even share it with anyone. Even my hubby was wondering, why are you? What else? Like God has been so faithful to us. What else are you looking for? But I was empty on the inside. At some point, I nearly went to depression.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm feeling like nothing matters. Nothing, it's like I better the way I had nothing.
Yes.
I was feeling that emptiness in me. And so when I was going through it, I decided to seek help.
Okay.
And I talked to somebody. And the first thing he told me is, Mary, do you know what? You are going through a midlife crisis.
Right.
I was just in my late 30s.
Yeah.
So I wondered, what do you mean? Midlife crisis, you know, I'm a woman. It happens to
it's
men.
For men only, yes.
Plus, I'm not even 40. Yes. Yeah, that is not me. And he told me, no. For women, it manifests differently.
Right.
For women, what you've been doing now is supporting your hubby to get to his... Yeah, for
his
men,
purpose or his goals,
even for you maybe understand this. For men, mostly it's about achievement.
Yes.
So for them, when they see, now the house is nice, I have
all
a
these
car,
things
have fallen into place.
Yes.
Some of them can get, that's fine.
Yeah.
But for a woman, when you reach achievement, you want another level.
Right.
Actualization. So you want to become.
Yes. Right.
And now that is where the turmoil comes. Become hot.
Yes.
I want to become hot. And so I started searching for what it is. And that coach really helped me.
Okay.
We went through a program that helped me to realize, Mary, other than accounting and your profession, you have gifts. Different forms of gifts. And if you combine all of them, then you can do something that can transform lives. And all he asked me, Mary, what is it that you really love doing?
Right.
Like when you're doing it, it's the only thing that you feel very fulfilled.
Yes.
And at first, I saw myself on the podium speaking or preaching.
Yes.
And then he even told me to remember when I was young.
Yeah.
And I remembered when I was young, I could be called even, like when I was a teen, I was being called in the parish to come and talk to other teens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, and that felt good, nice. So I told him, that is what I used to love.
Yes.
And then, so he interrogated me. We looked at my life. I saw even journaling. I told him, by the way, I wrote my first novel when I was in high school.
Are you
even
serious?
Though I've never published it. So again, we see I have a gift in authorship.
Yes.
And then he listens to me talk and he tells me, you seem also like you're so big on self-development.
Right.
Yeah, and if we combined all this, we can make something out of it. And you can become a teacher of this. Yeah, so, and I think that's how I found my purpose. There was no boom from heaven. It was just those self-evaluation.
Right.
Of course, with the help of somebody who understands. And then I find, okay, this is where I think I feel alive.
Yep.
And so he also helps you with steps to start. And so when I had done mine,
yes,
I saw a business opportunity. Why not now help others, especially ladies? Because you see now for men, I think they could understand their business. Even me, with him, thanks to him, I won't mention him, but a very nice guy who coached me. But I could hear some men things, you know?
Yes.
So I wanted to do it for ladies.
Yes.
And it was a quick process.
Yeah. Sorry,
I
just finished.
Yeah, it wasn't something that you go and look for like 20 days.
Yeah.
It was a one-day thing.
Wow.
That you go through. Of course, he'll give you some exercises to go do at home.
Yeah.
But even with that one day, you leave that place knowing exactly what it is that you are meant to do.
You know, you've touched on something there. There's from, if he's your coach was a man, and the things that he was giving you were more male oriented, and so you figured that probably this is something that women are not getting
out
from
there.
You know, so then there was a gap there for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. So, and that is how TevRey was
That's how
born.
TevRey was born. We started small.
Yes.
One at a time. A lot of failures, a lot of learning. Yeah. And then as we continued, even we specialized on the niche.
Right.
So at first I could think I want to help everybody. These skills are needed even by everyone.
Yes.
And that was true, but then I was not called for everyone.
Yes.
And that realizations come later, that there is a place where you can make more impact with a certain group of people. So I ended up settling for midlife women, professional women, not all midlife women, professional women, because I'm a midlife professional woman myself. So the journey they are going through is the one I understand
you identify
most.
It very well.
Yeah, I identify with that. And I always see, and that is what I would like to tell the listeners, that God is not calling you to help the whole wide
the
world.
Whole world, yeah.
And all he needs is for you to look back and see someone there.
Yes.
Who is where you started and had hold them.
Exactly.
Just bring them to where you are.
Yes.
That's all the calling we need. Yeah.
You know, because one of the things that I do is Man Enough, and you know, just talking to men about life purpose and things like that. And that's that analogy exactly what I tell them. When I stand in front of them, I'm not standing because I have I don't know a PhD in masculinity or anything like that. It's just because I have had the fortunate you know, blessing, if I can call it that, of having been somewhere, and I know there's someone who's behind me, and just trying to pull them to where we are, because like you said, you have a coach, you know, and everyone must have someone who's ahead of them, so that they pull you, even as you pull others, and we continue in that big chain. Yes. Money Mondays is a show. I am, as you can tell, I'm excited. And our guest is Mary Karuga, who's a life and career coach and trainer with the TevRey Consulting. And today we're just talking about purpose, business, aligning your calling with commerce. And Mary, as we're about to start thinking about not landing yet. When you go to now strategy of purpose, you know, so we talk about clarity to business. For someone who discovers their purpose, all right, how do they begin turning that insight into a viable business model?
Yeah, the moment that you realize this is my gift, this is what I do, I said it has to be done. You have to feel it's coming from you effortlessly.
Yes.
You don't need another master's or a PhD here. Like, this is something you're already good at. So whenever you feel that, it could be your career, could be your talent, it could be your passion. It could be a hobby. So it's anything that you've been doing and doing it well. Now, the first step you ask yourself is, who do I want to do it for? Again, that should be your choice. That is why I'm saying you are not called to serve everybody.
True.
Yeah, you choose for yourself. Who am I best suited to work with? Is it children? Which is fine. You can do children's books. Can be a trainer of like Sunday school or whatever. It can be your calling. So where do you feel you most suit? Is it teenagers? Is it old women? Is it whatever it is? So I've had ladies who, and I serve ladies who are doing everything, you know, like I really love to see how their purposes come to life. So most of them you find maybe it is from your experience, and now you would like people who are going through that experience, you help them with the steps that you took that are working, the things you learned along the way. So you find a lady will tell you, I just want to serve, like I have one who serves ladies who are going through grief. Because she lost her husband when a few years back. And then she went through all the hardship that you can imagine. And so now she knows other ladies who are going through that, and that is how she just helps them. Don't rush. Do this way. Do this. These were my mistakes, and that's actually what we need to do.
Precisely, just talking about your experiences and the pitfalls and how to avoid them.
You show this person who is going through the time, they are just about to make the same mistakes you made. But now you know they were mistakes, so you are helping them to find it's like jumping the potholes. You're telling them there is a pothole here, there's another one here, maneuver this way. You know, that's how that's all we need to do. So find that person who needs what God has put in your hands.
Yeah.
And then look for a way to monetize it.
Right.
Yeah, a purpose has to fit 4 categories.
Okay.
It has to be something you want, you love doing.
Yes.
It has to be something that you are good at. It has to be something that the world is ready to pay for, or they need it, you know. And of course, they have to be willing to pay.
Right.
Yeah. So when you get that thing, yes, you love it so much, but does the world need it?
Right.
Have you identified somebody who has that problem? And then now come and package it.
Yes.
Package step 1, 2, 3, 4 of how I can take somebody from that mess to this destiny.
Right.
Yeah, when you have that, you have a business idea.
Yeah.
Now then, go there. First of all, you have to learn to market it.
Right.
Yeah. How?
That was my next my follow-up question.
Because I'm here. I don't know what you can do. We can talk, and I'll go my way. But what if you told me this is exactly what I do?
What I do.
Yeah,
right.
and I will tell you. Then I'm your customer, or I can get you a customer.
You can get a reference.
So we have to learn. There is another. Now you have to see it as a business.
Yes.
If it is just a hobby, it will remain a hobby. Now you have to strategize. How will I get money out of it? And that will require proper branding, packaging, knowing the processes, the process you take people through.
Yeah.
And then, even if it's a good, it doesn't have to be anything with the process. Even this good, what makes it unique?
Yes.
It's like a lady who... a big lady like myself, and then you decide, I'm going to do clothes, but not for everyone, for ladies like me.
Right.
I understand the pain they go through, you know. You go to a boutique and you're being given all to clothes to try, because size yako.
Hata sisi wanaume tunakuanga na hizo shida. Someone just looks at you like, wewe utakupatia triple XL, anasema kwa sauti ya kubwa ndio.
So we want then you realize that. You realize what challenges am I going through. Sometimes I say your business is just you sorting out your own problems. Yes. What challenges? Like now, as ladies, the busy ladies don't even have time to go shopping for those clothes. They don't have time to go shopping for the utensils. So you can also package. But now the difference between purpose and a normal business, you're doing it for a purpose. This person you are serving, you have a connection with them. So actually, service is very different. It is heart to heart. You are going out of your way to serve them and to fulfill their needs. Have I answered your question?
Yes, you have.
Well, I went outside.
No, you have, because you see, I like how you've tied it to, after all these steps, you still have to focus on the person that you're serving.
Yes.
And I think that is what really, that is now the fork in the road between a normal business, because someone else will tell you, yes, I market my goods and products. Yes, I found a niche. Yes, I found a customer base that can be able to do this. But do you really connect to this person? And are you thinking...
Do you understand their pains?
Exactly, their pains.
What keeps them up at night? That is where you should come in.
And from a heart perspective as well.
From a heart perspective.
I think the caring bit, that is now what makes it a calling.
Sure, and that is what pays you more than it will pay somebody who just came to make money. That care, they are willing to pay an extra coin for that care.
Yes, because you're giving that personal attention that you would not get, like when you said earlier, someone ameweka matandaza manguo hapo. This is the price.
This is
ununue usinunue.
Hata ukinunua ufungiwi ama unafungiwa mawe.
Very true. And back to, because we talked about mistakes, and you've shared about that lady who is using her own experience to help people who are going through grief. So what are some of the mistakes that you see when people are rushing to monetize purpose without first doing the inner or the strategic work?
That one I'll tell my own story.
Go ahead, go for it.
So when I started now exploring purpose and passion and what, and feeling like I can teach, the first thing I did was to try it myself.
Okay.
Actually, even today morning, I was remembering what I did, that thinking that you can do it by yourself. That I think is the greatest
thinking
mistake.
That you can do it by yourself.
Yes,
right.
Because yes, you can do. You are not refusing.
Yeah.
But you're going to waste a lot of time, energy,
and effort.
Yeah. What if there was somebody who can just kind of jump? You can jump 3 years with this person instead of wasting it. So that was my first pitfall. That you find it and then you think, I'll figure this out. There's YouTube, I'll learn how this is done. So that is one of the mistakes. The other mistake is not believing in yourself. We call it undervaluing that which God has given you. Because, by the way, for you, it always looks small.
Yes.
It's something you
it's
do.
Something small.
I remember even you now. Even you now trying to tell you that you can talk to men, and you are thinking, but I already talk to them,
I
Mary.
Do this every day. What do you mean?
What do you mean this is a purpose? I do it, I do it at church, I do it in my chama boys and whatever. So it's not about, yes, you've been doing it, Yes. But this is the thing, this is the thing that God had aimed, that if you do this, He's going to bless you.
Right.
I love that verse. I can't remember it. That says that our gift will open doors for us. We will dine with kings.
Yes. Yes.
So you're not going to dine with kings because of your papers.
No. Very many of us would be at State House right now.
Of course. Yes. The professors, I pity those guys. The professors, these guys are learned, but still they are struggling.
Yeah.
But you find out somebody who has found their gift in something like football, running, music, and what.
Wanaenda wanapewa the flag with the president. Yes. Yeah.
They are there, dining with kings.
Very true.
So it's all about bringing all those things together.
Yeah.
So that you can serve.
Good. Very important, I like the way you have used your story just to connect to that, because many of us unajipeleka kifua, and I guess there's a place for that, for believing in yourself. But I think it is important to look for we call them destiny shapers or destiny helpers, who are able to hold your hand and tell you, literally what you've said. I really like that example for that woman, because she has gone through it, so she knows exactly how to help to avoid those pitfalls. So look for help. Don't feel as Mary is sharing her own story here, don't feel like you can just do it by yourself and you don't need anyone. No, look for resources and people who can help you guide, because if it is going to be a business, then like we said, you have to market. You have to do your strategy. You have to plan.
There is more than just loving it.
Yes. The passion is good.
Yes.
But beyond the passion, there has to be those
business
structure, mikakati that you put to allow you to actually monetize this. Very good. I hope you guys are still taking notes with us as we continue. So how do you then help your clients to balance impact, income, and identity in their business journey? Yeah.
So you see, first of all, we go back where we are insisting that it's all about the client. It's all about what they need. It's not about your love for this thing. That one should show when you are serving.
Absolutely.
But that is not the big reason.
It's not about you.
It's not about you. It's about them and a challenge that they are going through. Now, what you do is, when you're transforming their lives, they pay you back.
Right.
And that is how you balance impact and income.
When you're transforming,
the more you serve,
yes,
the more your income grows. The more you add value into their lives, the more your income grows. So it's you have to forget making money and concentrate on serving. Yes.
And the money will come.
Have a well-defined problem that I solve and the solution I offer, and for who. And those three things are aligned. then what you're doing there, you're impacting lives. And now when people are happy with what you're doing, you don't struggle to ask them for money. They bring themselves,
they bring others as well,
and they bring others as
word
well.
of mouth.
Word of mouth. So you grow. So it's that. Let us serve first. I believe in that. Let me serve first. That's why you'll see, even your wife, how she found me is that I had called people for a free webinar.
Yes.
And those free webinars, I'll have to prepare. I'll have to invest and what.
There's time and money to spend on that.
You bring people in. You are serving for free.
Yes.
That service for free will entice some people to want to walk along a journey with you. And that is how you make money. The same thing nowadays, and you've seen this even for goods. You'll see people now are making videos, instructions, they are serving. Because you might have a good that can help me, but I have no idea
I don't know
how.
what it's all about. Yes.
So come and serve me and tell me this my good does A, B, C, D. And that way we will be interested. So that is how you balance this. And then when it is purpose business, that is why I like it. It is something you enjoy. So it makes you not to think you are working. It is not hard to do.
Exactly.
So it is already aligned. It is giving you fulfillment and joy when you are doing it. So that is how you align. Your life should fit into your life. It should be something that when you are doing it, you are feeling at home. With it. So it is aligned. I feel at home with it. I am serving a need, and I'm being paid for it.
It's back to what you said earlier about finding your purpose and never having to work a day in your life. I think that's the connection right there, because you're serving, but it's something that really gives you so much joy that you just carry on with it, and you're able to fulfill those purposes, and then the balance then comes. Because I think sometimes people are like, okay, but I am a high flyer wherever I am, but now Mary is telling me, but this is not your purpose. Now naenda kuacha hii kazi yenye inanilipa all this money, and then I'm going to go back to, like we said at the beginning, the reputation, all those risks that you fear. But if you're then able to focus on the serving, then all these things, I think they just align and things work out.
Can I tell you something about my life? First of all, I'm still employed. Even today, I am on leave to do this. So, you know why this seems difficult sometimes? It's because people think I have to drop my work
everything
for me to do this. You don't have to. Personally, I am I'm very passionate about pivoting. We pivot towards it.
True.
We don't drop everything and go to it. Actually, we have to realize where we are, where God has brought us up to. It is our stepping stone.
Absolutely.
So we cannot just
discard
and move on. So it's about pivoting.
Exactly.
And now what happened to me is, number one was to audit my time. How do I use my time? Because sometimes we feel we don't have time. But I tell people,
this time,
if you don't have time and you are broke, something is really wrong with you. Something is really wrong with you. You can't lack both money and time. Because these two things go hand in hand.
Exactly.
And then I looked around. When I am saying I don't have time, someone like that coach of mine, he was running a school, a running institution. He had a farm, a big farm. He's doing this coaching. He shows up in different, I can see him, radio stations, whatever. I wondered, where do I think I don't have time?
Exactly.
And I'm spending it only in one place, and I'm insisting I don't have time. So the issue was not, can I do this? The issue was, can you rearrange yourself?
Planning.
Plan better. And do you know, within one day, your one day, you can create another 8-hour day. Because if you look at your life, most people, especially the employed, we can account for the 8 hours we are working
in the office,
and the 8 hours that we are sleeping. And who told you to sleep 8 hours, you lazy?
Kuna watu wanasema talala mbinguni.
Tuache tukalale mbinguni. Hapa ni kutafuta pesa, you know. So some people are sleeping at 9 or 10, waking up at 6, 7, and they are claiming they have no time.
Yes.
Hiya, when you are sleeping, we are making money. So money. Please,
I know they say money does not sleep.
It does not sleep. So we are not saying don't sleep, but 6 hours is the recommended. And I always say the doctor always exaggerates. So he tells us to drink 8
glasses of water and drown yourself while you're at it.
So if they are exaggerating with the 6 hours, it means 4 hours won't kill you, 5 hours won't kill you, and that is not your life, my dear. Remember, that is just the time you are building. It will come a time when it is now paying back.
Absolutely.
You can sleep, take vacation, do whatever as your staff now work for you. But this time of building, can you devote yourself? So it's all about time. If we can get that 8 hour back. So I was saying you are going to work 8 hours, you sleep 8 hours. Where are the rest 8 hours? What do you do with them? Can you start now questioning that?
Apart from traffic.
Apart from, who told you have to be on traffic?
Ukitoka mapema.
Sometimes it's your laziness that puts you on that traffic.
That is very
I used to work in an office. I used to travel from Thika Road all the way to Kilimani. And I never tasted traffic.
Wow.
You can sometimes, and I don't mean everybody can do that. I realized for me it was an advantage that I even negotiated. Can I leave earlier? Come early,
to have
leave early.
Flexi time.
So that I don't get traffic. So it's all about time. So if anybody ever tells you, I have no time, ask them, where do you take these 8 hours?
8 hours.
Where are you donating them? To your employer? Don't donate.
There's
a contract.
There's something to do. Exactly.
And the contract is from this time to this time. Everything else you are doing is donations.
Overtime.
Use that time to build yourself up. Early in the morning, later at night. You are my student. You knew how time. Can we tell them?
5:30, my friend. 5:30 to 7.
5:30. Can you also say what 5:30
is?
AM.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yes. 5:30 in the AM. My good people.
5:30 AM.
Yes.
We are building our lives. Somebody else is sleeping and is insisting, I cannot do that. I don't have time. You have a lot of time. You can wake up at 4, start your days at 4, and finish your days at 10. And you'll sleep like a baby.
You'll still sleep very well.
Very well. By then, you don't even need all 8 hours for these things. When you structure it well, nowadays with AI help and everything, you just need at a 2-3 hours per day
and you're good.
Are enough.
So you heard it from the coach. If you're saying you don't have time and you're broke, kuna shida ma. I mean, because again they say time is money, so read that as we come to the end of this conversation, I probably just think about now legacy and purpose-driven work. What does legacy mean to you, and how can purpose-aligned businesses shape it?
Good question. And when I think about legacy, I like not seeing it as something I'll leave behind. I want first to see it as something I'm creating.
You're creating
now.
As you are alive.
Right now. Because, when we think about it as...
future me will deal with it.
We'll deal with it, So if you're not creating it now, you won't have it.
True.
For me, legacy is... what would they remember me for? Starting with my children. What would they be proud of? Mama did for us. I was talking to other ladies recently, and I was telling them, it is so sad that in this economy there are no jobs. And me, a 40-year-old, is there in the queue with my 20-year-old son as we look for a job.
Imagine that.
We should really imagine that.
It is unfortunate.
And see, shouldn't we rise up and create jobs for these young ones?
For the 21s. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do something. Stop that mentality of employment. Start thinking of what can I create? Even if it is just a small thing, a hapo kiosk or something. Just that something that is yours. Stop looking for a job. Because now this looking for jobs. That is why we think like our life is just that.
Yes.
But our life is not, it's not just that. So when we think of legacy, you cannot build legacy. Another thing that I have also learned, learn from what you are seeing. You know, sometimes we want just to read from books. We don't even know who wrote them. Can we first look at our parents? Look at your parents. They worked, some of them worked their whole lives.
Right.
Where are they now? Do you like what you see in their lives? Is that really legacy? You know, like in this country, like ours, really, you retire and even one disease wipes everything out. Or you go up country and you're forgotten there. So we have to learn from such things and decide what legacy means for us.
Right.
I have to start creating something today for my children. So that when they come, they will find, like now, instead of you just sitting down and then they are there looking for jobs, why can't you have somewhere where when they are looking for jobs, at least they have something they can hold on to. They won't have to do drugs and what. So that for me is what legacy is. And now a business that is aligned with your purpose, one thing it will help you, it is to create that legacy. Because now, you see, we are saying self-employ. Self-employ. The only reason we are bringing this thing about purpose is for your own fulfillment. We don't want again you self-employ in another job, another 8 to 5, you know. Self-employ in something you enjoy doing, something that you flow into and you love. So if you are getting it, if you have it, build it as a business, as an empire that will one day support, outlast you, support the generations to come. So for me, that is how you align the two.
Good stuff. In an African context, how do we create a purpose business that serve both personal fulfillment, like you've said, and generational impact?
Purpose. You know, in Africa, for example, we have so many problems which we are waiting for the Mzungu to come and solve for us.
Yes, true.
So many. And by the way, our problem is because somebody gave us what we call a scarcity mentality. We don't have. We always think we don't have the money to do that. We don't have the time. We don't have the what. So we are waiting for help, for donation, for us to eliminate. Serikali's idea. You know, like now I even look at our issue with food. And you find in this country, when it rains, it carries us. Floods.
That woman for serikali's idea. Maji mebeba hata bwana, mebeba kuku na kila kitu.
And then 2 months later,
sina chakula.
Kiangazi imekuja. Even harvesting that water. Something that you can do. I was so happy I went to our village and I met this young man. A guy we went to school together. And he has dug just a hole and put just a nylon paper. And when it rains, he shows all the water to that place. And then he's now the one who supplies tomatoes, kales, to the whole village. Because he has water when they don't have water. Actually, he does not plant like them. You know what they do? They all of them plant at the same time. When
during
it
the
rains.
So then there's oversupply and then the price has gone down.
Actually, they will give them came to the cows. Nobody to buy because everybody has theirs. So he learned, okay, I'll go against seasons.
Wow.
The only way to go against season, dig this hole.
That
hole
is innovation right there.
In the village.
Yes.
That is innovation, common sense. So Africa, we have so many problems and we also have solutions for it. But we are also so brain damaged that we have to wait for a solution
from
outside.
Has to come and do it for us.
Yeah, somebody has to come and do it for us. We don't have. We don't have materials, we don't have time, we don't have anything. And neither do we ever sit down to ask ourselves, how can I start small? We never do that. So that is why we are thinking, let us wait for help.
Yes.
So our solutions and our purpose-driven businesses, if there is a place where there is rich ground for it, it's Africa. Just wake up and look around you and see all the problems you are seeing. Drainage, hakuna. Even you go roads, hizo. We are waiting government to just idea. Hakuna mtu anajitolea.
Like you even said, even just storage. Food storage again. So what happens, like you're saying, for those people when they've planted and now there's no one to sell? You give it to the cows. If we had innovative ways of storage, then you keep it for when the dry seasons come. And I'm sure there are ways of processing even vegetables keep them in a way that it will be still nutritious.
But Ezekiel, you better sleep than innovate, than think. That is a problem.
But jua ni kali huku, Mary. Sasa,
najua ni kali, lakini si kali kwako peke yako. Go to Israel. I had the privilege to visit Israel.
Right.
And it's a green place. Of course, it is very dry, but the places that they have decided this is for farming, the kind of banana that comes from that, you will wonder, oh my God, and kwetu there is rain throughout.
Na tuna import kutoka kwao.
We will import from them. So it's all about, can we think a little bit? Can everybody solve a problem that they are seeing?
Yes.
Like, stop even thinking big. That's another problem we have. We want to go big.
Have this visions of grandeur. Like, when I make it, I will sort out all these things.
We are people for big car, big house, big business. We forget. Just there in your neighborhood, what are people suffering with?
Right.
And can you be the solution? We start there. And that is how you can see in our context. We are rich in ideas. And actually we have those ideas in our mind. But we are so lazy to start. That one I'll say for sure. Because even I used to be there. And even now I believe I can do more. I can do more. We still have, there is a lot of room to do more, to solve people's problems. Solve a real problem. Wacha kushinda ukituambia pesa ya serious hapo. na quail business
na greenhouses
na shamba mafuta
maguta
hizo vitu zote they are just wasting your resources.
You're building castles in the air.
Look at a real problem and then sit down and structure a solution. You have a mind. We all have. You know what, I always challenge myself. Those people there I follow, they are doing big things. They are people like me, same blood, same flesh. They might have a different color.
But really
we are just all human beings. So I can do what they are doing. So that is it. Let us not go look further. In our context, in our neighborhood, there is a problem we can solve.
That you can solve. I like that. That is a great challenge. And, I'm just thinking for listeners who feel stuck, successful, but stuck, like you said, where you were in 2017. What's the first step that they should take this week? Because we're talking about things that we can do. And I like just what you have just shared now. What can you start now, today? So what can the person who's watching, yes, they're successful, but they're feeling stuck. Or maybe they don't feel that successful and they're feeling stuck in their lives. What one step should they take this week to start their purpose journey?
So me, I will go somewhere where I had to go.
Right.
Self-help is good, but it has its limitations.
Right.
Me, I'll tell somebody, look for, I always say it like this. model success.
I
Look
like that.
for somebody who has started what you want to start, and please book an appointment.
Yes.
Just go and tell them you would like them to show you how they are doing
did
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should always be our first step.
Yeah.
Everything else is time wastage. That's what I've come to learn. Nowadays, I don't struggle with the how. How will I do this? No. Who can show me how to do this first?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what bothers me. I am struggling to do ABCD.
Yes.
Who can help me to do it faster?
Right.
That is the first step everybody should take. Identify someone who is doing what you like to do, and they are already successful in it. Book an appointment. Go listen to them. How did they get there?
Yeah.
And if you have nobody, Mary's here.
We
have a process.
Very true. Very true. I'd like you now to do your party shot. Please just move me your cup. I have to capture you properly.
Yeah.
So shake your cup.
Cup.
Yes, so that I can capture you. As I want you to give your parting shot, and to the things that you've spoken about in terms of knowing what your purpose is, pursuing it, and actually seeking it out. What would you tell the person who's watching? What do they need to do? As you've already started by telling us, look for someone who is successful and model it. But as you wind down this conversation, what parting shot would you give to our listeners or our viewers?
Yeah. Good. So I'd like to tell our viewers, our listeners, that number one, you are not too late. You can start today and you can scale. If you're seated there and you are feeling misaligned, like something is missing in your life, like you're not very happy with where your life is, where it's going, or you don't even know, you don't have clarity, then your first step is just to admit it, that I don't like where I am and I need help. And then please, as I said, look for somebody who can take you to the next step. And I said that is where some people like us, when you hear us calling ourselves coaches, trainers, mentors, that is where we come in. And there are so many out there, not only Mary, who can help you to really reignite that which is inside you. So just look for one, book an appointment, and start your journey from there. If you'd like me to help you, then you can follow me on my pages. On LinkedIn, I go by Coach Mary, Coach Mary Karuga. You can also call me. My number is 0720 612 602. You can do me a WhatsApp and I'm going to follow up. I normally offer free consultation calls. Then we can do one and I can be that guide for you. Or you can even visit my website, www.tevrey.com. TEVREY.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much for taking your time just to walk us through what it means to monetize your purpose and just sharing. I like it when people are able to share their own personal stories because, we identify very well, and it helps people to understand where they, because when you're sharing a story, someone is identifying. And they're able then to make the steps that they want to take. And like you've said, for the person who is looking for the first step, I really like that point where you said, model. Self-help is good, but look for people who you can model, and if they're accessible, book an appointment. The worst they can say is no. But, you can still find other people who you can be able to talk to and help you as you discover what your purpose is. All right, this has been Mondays with me, Ezekiel Olande, and our guest, Mary Karuga, who has just, walked us through what it means to take your purpose and align it to business and commerce. She has shared her contacts, and if you need to get in touch with her, please do. She has shared her socials as well. You said on LinkedIn you are at?
Coach Mary Karuga.
Coach Mary Karuga. So mtafute, sit down with her, talk to her, follow us on Icon Radio. We'll share also her links as well. And if you are looking to see how to discover your purpose, this is a good place to start. Thank you, and we'll see you. Karibuni. Good night and goodbye.